Just find that subtle version of the breath. Whereas you take a breath in, you feel the lower ribs expand out and come back. And sure enough, there is a little bit of belly movement, but don't think of it so much as belly movement as this 360-degree expansion that happens by itself. So your tongue rests gently on the roof of your mouth, you're breathing in and out through your nose. And that breath is just silky, smooth, low, subtle. And now let's do a version of wave breathing. We're going to allow the belly to fill with a breath in, then we're going to allow the chest to fill, and then we're going to bring that breath up to the collarbones. So you're going to have this building, breath in, and release. Hands can stay at your belly, or you can follow along with me. So it's belly, chest, collarbones, release. And so this now is a much bigger breath than you actually need. We'll do a few of them. So belly, chest, collarbones, and release. One more. And release. And now take a moment to just let it be subtle again. So hands can come back to the lower abdomen. The knees are soft. The tailbone drops towards the earth. The crown of the head lifts skyward, creating this nice gentle traction between the tailbone and the crown of the head. Effortless. And then let's use spinal cord breathing as a way to help with the exhale. We typically get stuck in a pattern of actually over-inhaling, so we can use spinal cord breathing as a way to just help with the exhale. So as we curl forward with the breath out, we're using the movement and the pressure from your internal organs to help push your diaphragm back up into its resting position. So just enjoy the closing phase. And then let the opening phase be super simple. There's no work with this. The movement does the work. So there's nothing we have to do to draw the breath in. The breath just comes in. And the breath just goes out, like the tide coming and going. See if you can simply lay witness to it. So there's no efforting other than doing the movement. The movement draws the breath in, and the movement helps the breath out. And on our next one, let's take a little pause at the end of the exhale. So as we help the breath out, just pause in that moment of stillness. And then when you're ready with the movement, you draw the breath back in. Same thing again, a little pause at the end of the breath out. We'll do 3 of those. And just notice how your senses become a little more heightened in that quiet, still place at the end of the breath out. And release. Nice. Let's step now into the breath in. Buddha holds up the earth, or Buddha holds up the sky. Base of the index fingers press skyward. And as you do that, your elbows draw back, the tailbone is relaxed, and you may actually feel a little bit of tension building in the back body. That's intentional. And then with our breath out, we release that tension. So we're going to use the breath in to strategically build some tension in the body. So a breath in, hold the breath at the top of the breath in, draw the elbows back, feel that tension in the back body, and then let it all go. So a breath in, belly, chest, collarbones. Say hello to the brightness, and then release it. So things are a little more sparkly when we hold the breath at the top of the breath in. And release. 2 more of those. and release. And then let's do a little knocking right on the sternum. So right on the chest. The knuckles come right to the center of the sternum, up and down. And then take a good breath in, and then hold that breath in. It's natural to want to knock a little bit harder. You can if that feels good. And then with a breath out and the ha sound, release. Breath in. Two more of those. One more. And then take a moment to check in. There's a part of your system that's lit up now. So just sense that. Palms face towards the earth, the tailbone drops to allow tension to leave the low back. The knees are soft. The toes are gentle kickstands. And simply feel the vibration of the practice. And then let's gather energy from behind. Extend through the little fingers. We're going to open up the meridian channels associated with the heart. So gather energy from behind. Extend through the little fingers with a breath out. So a nice easy breath in. Stand a little taller, extend through the little fingers. The breath out. One more, and this time we'll hold the position. A breath out. And now allow the breathing to be steady and easy as we bring the ear towards the shoulder and then gently roll the head forward and back. Opening up those lines of tension coming from the neck all the way down into the hand, the little finger. So with bold commitment, extend through that little finger. And feel how you can do that against the backdrop of a tailbone that's relaxed. So we can hold both. We can experience a little tension. At the same time, we can hold a sense of letting go. And then release. Shake the arms out. Let's gather again as we go to the other side. Gather from behind, extend through, ear to the shoulder, and just a gentle rolling forward and back. Appreciating that when we hold that sense of ease and letting go, along with the tension of a movement, that sparks creativity, creative tension. It's tension that's grounded and helpful. And shake that out. And now let's gather energy from the front, and then we're going to extend through the index finger. So a breath in to gather, and a breath out to stand a little taller and extend through the index finger. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. We'll do one more and then we'll hold that one. Ear to the shoulder. The knees are soft to keep you rooted. As we do motions like this, it's easy to get in your head. So for as much as you're in your head, drop your tailbone. And then switch sides. And release. Let's do full body shaking now with the heart sound, HA, the fire element. Breath in through the nose, breath out through the mouth with a 5 of those. Are practicing letting go. 1 more. And then check in with the vibration of your practice. A little different from the first time we checked in. And then begin a side-to-side movement, where your shoulders lead, your head and your hips follow. Here we're going to untie the breath from the movement. In other words, the breath just stays steady and we move independent of it. You can imagine yourself as a piece of kelp in the sea. We're starting to open up the side body, associated with the wood element, our place of growth, creativity. Wood is generative to fire. Summer element, we focus on fire, and we can use the wood element of spring to ignite it. Then let's take a wide leg stance. And now we're going to allow the hips to lead the movement as we start to make our way towards moves like a river. So just start off with a weight shift where now it's your hips that lead and your head and shoulders trail. Your weight is even between the balls of your feet and your heels. It's a little trickier in the wet sand, isn't it? We're at risk of losing Dave to the ocean. And then hinge at the hips to turn the volume up a bit. What that really means is your hips will drift back. Feel free to adjust your stance at any point if you want a more narrow or a wider stance. And then the last phase of turning the volume up is to set the arms free. So the hips lead, the upper body trails. The side that you're shifting towards is your high arm. The breath is steady, in and out through the nose, with the tongue resting on the roof of the mouth. Feel the side body opening. You could take that top elbow just a little higher to open the side body even more. That's adding the wood element to fire. And then let's meet in the center and forward fold. Releasing the back of the neck so the crown of the head goes towards the earth. Welcome the water coming in. And full body flow. One hand stacks on top of the other hand. Draw that energy up the center. Come up overhead and with the breath out, reach the hands forward. Full body flow. As you feel comfortable with it, you can come into a slight back bend at the top of that breath in. And with the breath out, reach forward and flow. Breath in to come up. And a breath out to release. Opening up the lines of tension in the hamstrings. That gives us more access to the batteries of life, our kidneys. The breath is silky smooth. The movement, just like spinal cord breathing, draws the breath in, helps the breath out. So let go of any efforting around the breath. Take a little recreation in seeing how subtle it can be against the backdrop of this big movement. When we get that right, it actually builds energy in the body much more than what a big breath does. This sort of ironic pairing of big movement, subtle breath builds the energy we want. It's clear and focused. Come up to the top. Let's meet in arrow. Palms come together. Palms coming together represents that connection of heart energy. So feel that connection in the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet and the openness in the armpits. All portals to heart energy. Then bring the thumbs to the sternum. Let's take a moment just to pause here with a little extra bend in the knees. Toes can be pointing out. Not quite our full horse stance yet, a nice mild version of it. Giving us a chance to check in and feel the weight into the heels. Allowing the toes to be gentle kickstands. A breath into the heart center. And a breath out, palms come out to the side, and we drop down in just a little bit more, full horse stance. Allow your palms to be portals, energy entry points into the body. The weight is even between the heels and the balls of the feet. The toes are relaxed. With a breath in, let's meet in arrow. A breath out. Thumbs come to the sternum. Breath into the sternum. And a breath out, we drop just a little more. Breath in through the palms. Breath out through the palms. Breath into arrow. Breath out. Breath into the heart center. Breath out. Breath in through the palms. Breath out through the palms. Breath into arrow. One more time through. Breath out. Breath in to ignite your heart. Breath out to release. Breath in through the palms. Breath out through the palms. Breath into arrow. Hold arrow as you drop the tailbone towards the earth. So now there's equal connection between the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet with the earth. The breath is steady, silky smooth. And with the breath out, thumbs come to the sternum. We've got just a little bit more wood element to combine with fire. So the elbow comes to one knee, the other hand reaches overhead to open the side body. With a breath out, we come to the center, and with a breath in, we open the side body. Breath out to the center, and a breath in to open. Creating this straight line from your fingertips to your foot. The elbow on the knee is just gently resting there. If there were a piece of paper between your elbow and your knee, somebody could still pull that piece of paper out. You're holding it in place, but somebody could easily pull it out. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. We're going to do this for about 20 minutes. We'll do one more to each side. It was a fast 20 minutes. And then we'll meet in the center for another forward fold. Releasing those lines of tension that go to the kidneys, the batteries. You may feel like you've got a little more range. Two full body flows. Breath in, hands come up the center. Come into that slight back bend. And release. Hands come forward. Look at that, I lost my mic. Breath in, arms come up overhead. And a breath out to release. And step the feet in. Shake them out. Let's do 3 shaking heart sounds. So breath in through the nose, breath out through the mouth. With a and check in. It's common right now to have a little bit smoother sense of the energy, a little less sparkly than the previous times we've checked in, but something very smooth and settling. And let's use this energy now for Lotus flow. With a breath in, thumb and index finger meet, we create a portal. We connect that portal to the earth, and then we bring that portal to the heart center. Feeling energy come in and out through this portal, we extend forward, circle around, and fill the heart. And release. That's the Lotus flow. So a breath in, thumb and index finger meet. We connect that portal to the earth. Draw that to the heart center, project through the heart center, circle around and fill the heart. With a breath out, our footprint gets a little heavier. With a breath in, we get a little taller. And a breath out, we connect to the earth again. There's this massaging of energy. Breath into the heart center. Breath out through the heart. Then fill the heart. And then a full release towards the earth. Breath in to go big. Breath out to connect that big to the earth. Then bring that to the heart center. Release. And fill. So it's this massaging of energy, energy coming and going. There's nothing we have to cling to or hold to. It comes and goes on its own accord. We just create a portal, a place for it to move through. And in that, life lives. So as we continue the motion now, see if you can let go of any efforting. There's a part of this movement that just wants to come through. See if you can connect to that. As we focus on the effortless nature of this, the coming and going of energy, we tether the nervous system into a good place. We walk it into a place of being alert and focused, comfortable, relaxed, peaceful. One more time. So a breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. Breath in, our last breath out. That sounds a little ominous, doesn't it? Our last breath out. Our last just for that flow. So let's do another flowing movement. This one's going to fine-tune your mind a little bit more. So we're going to connect the thumb and the fingertips. Just think of that as honing in now. You've done a great job of calming this energy in the mind and focusing it. And now we're going to refine it. So index finger and thumb meet as we come into a Tai Chi opening movement. When we get to the place in front of the shoulders, we switch now to middle finger and thumb and press out. Then we switch to ring finger to draw in, and then little finger to press out to the side. And then connect them all to draw in, and then release towards the earth. So index finger and thumb, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, and all of them. Just refining that clarity and release. Index finger, middle finger, your gaze is soft. But feel how expansive and how clear it is. Relaxing the mind in the face of asking it to perform. This is ninja level work. One more time. Release. Let's take a small lunge position. So one leg forward, the other foot points back at 45 degrees. It's a very easy lunge. We're going to use this for heart to the sky. Heart to the sky and heart to the earth. So with a breath out, we lean forward over that foot, and with a breath in, we open. See if you can pair the magnitude of your breath in and breath out. And on this one, let's let ourselves go big. It's not huge, but it can be bigger than what your metabolic need is. So it's a breath in to open and a breath out to close. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. One more time, and we'll switch. And switch sides. So a breath in, a breath out. It's like we're taking that massaging you've done to your nervous system and now spreading it throughout the whole body. Lighting up. One more. Let's come back to our Wuji stance. And the hope here, the thing to look for, is that sense of smooth, big energy in the body. Not big as in out of control, big as in encompassing every cell of your body. So palms face towards the earth. The feet are relaxed. The knees are soft. The tailbone drops. The crown of the head lifts skyward. All of this just creates a clear vantage point to see. And then just check in. You may notice that in doing this, the breath became incredibly quiet. Frequently we feel like we need to breathe more, but most of the time that's actually not true. We're actually breathing too much. So in these moments where you realize the breath just naturally starts to go quiet, appreciate those moments. And then let's take a wide leg stance, cloudy hands. We're going to come back to this again at the end. We're going to evenly match the breath in to the breath out. When we do that, we bring ourselves even more to a place of being alert and focused, completely in control. So one hand creates space, the symbol of infinite space in front of the heart center, while the other hand connects to the earth or connects to the water element, especially in our case. Let's pair the breath in as we go to the left, and then a breath out. I'm mirroring your image. Truth be told, it's okay to pair it either direction. Frequently we'll start off with pairing it moving to the left, just because the heart is a little more on the left side. Feel how as you allow the tailbone to root towards the earth, you can almost sit into it a little more clearly. Let's come to center and meet in arrow. A couple breath cycles here. Release. So we're going to step into a form that we've been learning called Blue Dragon Sees Itself in a Mirror, or Blue Dragon Reflects. What's special about this practice is there are breath holds built into it. Those breath holds are times where we get to check in to that quiet, clear space. At the end of a breath in, that space tends to be a little bit more sparkly, and at the end of a breath out, that place is a little darker, a little quieter, a little more nourishing. And so the invitation is to take a little time in those breath hold places to experience that positive nature of breath holding. If you extend the breath hold too long, it becomes distracting and you kind of lose the magic. So we'll go through the motion a few times, and then I'll give you time to journey on your own, where you wallow in those breath holds to the extent that it feels interesting and cool. So the motion. Breath in, palms come together. We hold that breath in as the thumbs come to the sternum. With a breath out, we pierce the veil of our knowing, and then open the hands to reflect back, still holding the breath out. Don't worry if you're not getting right on the first one. And then with a breath in, we draw in, then index finger and thumb meet to create, or extend to create this sense of the palm being open but protected. And a breath out. Then we're going to scoop up a little extra earth energy. Use that to reflect back, holding the top of a breath in. And then the wrist cross, we press out to end the motion. Index finger and thumb extended, heart protected but open. And then we start again. So a breath in, hold the breath in. Begin the breath out as we pierce the veil. Hold the breath out as you reflect back. A nice gentle breath in. A nice gentle breath out. A full nourishing breath in. Hold at the top of the breath in. And then with a breath out, the wrists cross and we press out. One more time before I set you free. Breath in. Hold the breath in. Breath out. Hold the breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Full breath in. Hold the breath in. and a breath out. And release. So if you're new to that movement, feel free to just keep watching me and follow along. Those of you who have been doing it for a few weeks now, you'll feel good to just go on your own. So eyes open, eyes closed, completely up to you. When you get to this last breath hold, even if you have your eyes closed, imagine them being open. In other words, let your mind expand to see big. Whether your eyes are open or closed doesn't actually matter. But your mind can be in a state of kind of quiet center, or it can be big. This one is meant to be big. All right, so again, eyes open or eyes closed, go big. We'll start together, and then you'll pioneer on your own. So the blue dragon is this force within us that is an amazing friend to creativity and protection, to passion and flow. Available to us at any time. The more we practice summoning the blue dragon, the more easily the blue dragon appears for us. One more. And then let's take a little wider leg stance. We'll come back to cloudy hands a couple times before we head into centering. So we can use cloudy hands to just bring ourselves back to that place that's alert and focused, having come from a place that's deep and quiet. Now we're sort of getting back into the room in this place that is alert, focused, calm and connected. Feel free to take in data from your surroundings. That's part of being alert and focused. Seeing people in the water, seeing people on the beach, seeing buildings, sand, birds. And release. Step the feet in. One hand rests under the lower abdomen. Let's bias the breath in just to light ourselves up a bit more. Breath in. And then that easy breath out as we clear energy through the mind, through the heart, and let it rest back at the earth. The earth has an infinite ability to accept anything we want to offer it. So we can take that tension out of the mind, out of the body, let it rest in the earth so that we can see more clearly. One more to each side. This mudra of the hand resting in front of the heart, the hand under the abdomen, represents an acknowledgement that all is well. So with that sense, go off onto your Saturday and have a great weekend. Thank you everyone for your practice.